Hey guys, how's it going? It's Janie over here at Janie Sweets, and in this episode I'm coming at you with a tutorial on how I took a plain white cake and airbrushed it to look like a Hawaiian sunset. So if you want to learn how I made this, keep on watching. So I'm just going to use my homemade fondant for this. If you want to learn how to make this fondant, you can check out my video that I will link for you guys in the description box below, and it will explain to you how I did this. Now I'm just going to roll it out and cover a 6-inch cake with it. So using the palm of my hand, I'm just going to pull it out all the seams and then attach it to the cake. Once that's done, I'm just going to use my fondant smoothers and then smooth everything out. Then I'm going to put that to the side and then start working on my bigger tier. So I'm just going to roll out the fondant, put it to the side, and then cover my 8-inch cake with it. Now doing the same thing, using my hands to smooth everything out and then cutting out the excess with a pizza cutter, and then using my fondant smoother again to smooth everything out. Now because I wanted to bring the airbrush effect to the board, I am also going to cover the board with white fondant, cut off the excess, and then what I also did is I cut off a circle in the middle of the board that was the size of my cake, just so that I don't waste any extra fondant, because nobody's going to see it and nobody's going to eat it. So once that's done, I'm using some fat bubble tea straws to insert in the bottom tier so that the weight of the top tier does not collapse it when I put it on there. So once I put the top tier, it is now time to decorate. Now I am using 3 different colors. These are, I believe, AmeriColor airbrush colors. You have to use an airbrush color, not gel color, because you will ruin your airbrush machine. I'm using 3 colors, a pink at the top, fading it into a yellow, and then into an orange at the bottom. Now as you can tell when I'm rolling the cake over, you can see there's a spot where the airbrush splattered all over it. I was making this cake for a friend, so she wouldn't have minded it, but what happened here is that there was too much pressure on the trigger. I pulled way too fast and it just splattered the color all over the place. So make sure that when you are airbrushing, you pull the trigger very, very slowly, very, very lightly, and you also make sure that the pressure of your machine is not too hard. So you want to make sure that you go slow with this process. This entire process took me a while, so don't rush it. Take your time, make it look pretty. Once that was done, I am using just a gold ribbon, and I'm going to put it around each bottom tiers, like each bottom of the tiers, and then also on my board. Now onto the flowers. I wish I could say I made these flowers, but I did not. I have talked about this before. I am garbage when it comes to making sugar flowers, so I buy all of mine. I will link for you guys where I bought these specific hibiscus flowers. You can find them everywhere though, on Etsy. There are shops that specialize on just, you know, sugar flowers. You could also find them on Amazon, but I will find out where I bought these specific ones and I will link it for you guys below. So I'm just going to airbrush them lightly with just random colors. Some are going to be orange, some of them are going to be yellow, and some of them are going to be pink. So I'm just going to make some of them super light, super dark, just so that I could have some contrast. Now once I was done, I am going to use a leaf cutter as well as a leaf veiner, and I'm going to create a whole bunch of leaves to go all around the cake. So I'm just using gum paste for that. I believe this cutter, I got it from a kit, Wilton kit, but I will find out and again link everything for you guys in the description box so that you can also purchase them if you are interested. Once that was done, I have here just some random gold luster dust that I am going to dissolve into some vodka, and then I'm going to paint the leaves with the gold. Then I'm going to leave it to the sides to dry a little bit, and in the meantime I can start putting on my flowers onto the cake. Once I've decided that this is where I wanted the front to be, I'm just going to place the flowers all over until I'm happy with how it looks. And then I'm also going to start placing the gold leaves. Now, because it was a little warm in my house that day, the cake was sweating just enough so that the leaves would stick to it. So I'm just gonna place it right onto the cake. But if it's not sticking, you can always use water or gum glue to stick it onto the cake. Then once you are happy with the result, this is how my cake turned out. I really love how this cake looks. It reminds me of summer. I mean, it is October now and it's starting to get a little chilly here in Jersey, so this cake was a breath of fresh air to remind me of summer. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and that you've learned something. As always, you can check out my last video if you click on this annotation right to your left. I am on Instagram as well as on Facebook. All of my socials are at Janie's Sweets. Subscribe to the channel so that you do not miss out on any of my future videos. If you like this particular one though, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. So that is it for this week's tutorial, guys. I love you. I'll talk to you next time.